Hello guys, welcome to Code Bazinga. This is part 5 in the Python basic series, and today we'll look at the topic print method in Python. So as the name sounds, print method is used to print the argument passed to the output device. It prints the object, or I would say arguments passed. The arguments could be variables to the output device. Now let me make this a proper definition. So now this markdown will make it work. Okay, so let's look at few examples. Let's say print welcome to Python. Now inside the print statement we can use single quotes or double quotes. This would even work with double quotes. Say for example Code Bazinga rocks, and yes, it does. Now we can also add an argument to it. Let's say I hope you guys are aware of this name. This is the best director ever. So I would say something like this is the best director to have to ever exist. And if you guys are familiar, Christopher Nolan is coming with another movie in August named Tenet. Just make sure you guys watch it. Okay, not without deviating from the topic further, let's move on. So we have seen print statement with single quotes, and we have also seen print statement with double quotes. Also we have used a variable inside print. Now let's look at the different print formatting methods. So there are 4 print formatting methods. And they are very easy to grasp and understand, and it depends on person to person which one they want to use. The first I would say is F formatting. Now as the name sounds, okay, let's take 3 variables. Let's say the name is James, a very common name. Age is say 24, and role, let's define the role as data analyst. Now I can simply print something like F double quotes name aged age wants to be a role. Now if you can see how we have utilized this F formatting. So inside F formatting, the print statement starts with an F, that's the keyword, and after F comes the entire statement is written in single quotes or double quotes. Now inside the single quotes or double quotes, whatever variables we have used, we have to place these variables inside curly brackets and formulate our sentence accordingly. Now had we changed the position of the variables, say for example I could also say even single quotes would do. Now I could also say something like role name and age. Now there is no as in a sentence verification, as in it's not checking the sentence grammatically or meaningfully. So whatever arguments will pass without paying heed to the grammar or the sentence structure followed by the English language, it invariably prints the statement as in means the exact way in the exact way as it was typed. Now in F formatting we have a few variations. Okay, that comes with the format method, so I'll come to it in a few minutes. So hope this F formatting was clear. Now let's move to the second method. I don't have a name for the second method, so let's say normal usage of print. Normal usage of print, and I'll mark this down. So normal usage of print. Okay, let's take another variable. I would rather say goat. Okay, let's say footballer. Messi, and the score is 700. I can simply say I'll just copy this and I'll simply say footballer has scored in his lifetime. Now hope this explanation is clear. Now if you look carefully, here I've used the two variables, footballer and score. Now inside the print function, the first variable name I've used is footballer, which refers to the value Messi, and using the comma as a separator, I've appended this statement with has scored, which is a string, and again using a comma as a separator, I've appended the statement with score, and using the comma as a separator again, I've appended the statement with goals in his lifetime. So we can also use this print formatting method. Now the usage varies from person to person. Some people prefer to use the F formatting, while some people prefer the normal usage of print. So I'm not going to explain means more examples of this normal usage. You'll find this very often. So let's proceed with the third and the most important formatting method, which is the using format function. Now with the format function comes the gameplay, as in we can tweak the code much beyond what we could have done with the normal usage. Here again we need to take a few variables. Let's say pandemic, and we all know which pandemic I'm talking about, which is none other than, of course, COVID-19. And its total, if I'm not wrong, is something around okay, let's talk about India. So in India it has crossed 9 lakhs for sure. So now if I have to use the format method, I can simply say something like inside the print I can simply use like this, pandemic comma total, and here I'll use this. Now okay, let me just type and then I'll proceed towards the explanation. Bit crosses. Yeah. I hope as I'm writing you guys are able to understand. Now let's see the effect. Okay, format function is throwing an error. Pandemic, is there a spelling mistake? Total. Okay, total. Okay, yeah. So in the format function we use, means first we type the sentence that we want to print inside the print function using single quotes or double quotes. After the sentence is done, we apply the format function using the dot operator. and inside the format function arguments we provide the variable names. Now the thing to keep in mind is the order in which we provide the variable names is exactly the order in which it will be printed. Now to place the variable name we use curly brackets and leave it empty, so in such a way that the say inside see, consider this as the scenario. Here the pandemic denotes the index 0, so the index 0 value, as an index 0 value is COVID-19, so the index 0 value is supplied to this empty curly braces. Likewise here total signifies the index 1, so the index 1 value is populated in the second curly brackets. Likewise, okay, I'll reuse the example I've used above, and let's tweak this code a bit. Here instead of the f formatting, I'll use the format method dot format, and here the three variables are name, age and role. Of course I have to delete the variable names from inside of the curly brackets. Now if I tweak this code a bit, as you can see, I can do something like this, and I can change the variable or indexes, role, name and age. Now of course the sentence will be meaningless, but it's just this is just an example to show that it works. Now as I've mentioned that here the index of role is 0, name is 1 and age is 2, so we can exploit this property as well, and I can simply say okay, I'll use this improper index positioning, and I'll fix the positioning using the indexes as in 0, 1, 2. So here the role index is the index of role is 0, so 0 has to be placed here. Now the index of name is 1, so 1 has to be placed here, and age is 2, so age has to be placed here. So here you can see with a slight variation we have altered the usage of format function. Likewise we can try another stuff like this. We can try something like say D, R and say Q. For no reason I've chosen these alphabets, and I can simply say that name is D, Q is role and age is R. So now when here the value of D has to be populated. Now D refers to name, and the variable name holds the value of James. Likewise R refers to age, R refers to the variable age, and the value stored in the variable age is 24. And similarly Q holds the value of role, and role holds the value data analyst. So this this will work. Let's check this out. So as you can see this part is working perfectly fine. Now here is another usage. We can apply something called as padding and alignment. Padding and alignment using format function. This is the part that most people prefer to ignore, but this is an important part, so let's not skip this part. Let's say I have a statement say something like and I'm using format function, so let's keep the curly brackets empty for the time being, and I'm using this statement. Let's say Eminem is the goat, and of course this is an undisputable statement. Now if I count the string if I count the length of the string, let's say S is Eminem is goat. Now print length of S. Now this gives me 18. Okay, so here I can simply say something like colon 25, and I can use less than operator. Okay, I'll comment this part. We can now we know that the string is of length 18, and here I've given 25. Okay, let's say I'll give, okay, 25 is perfectly fine. Now if I print this, of course I'll be getting the same output as expected, as in this will print Eminem is goat. Now the string length is 18, and here I've used 25. So what exactly is this 25 colon and less than doing? So 25 denotes the total string length which will be printed inside the print function, that will be displayed as the output. Now if I check this, you can see here I'm getting extra spaces here, which is of course not visible unless and until I select it, because it's white space. Now less than denotes that this string is left aligned. So I'll simply say this is left aligned and right padded and right padding. So this sentence is left aligned, so this is padded with as in the sentence exactly has to be 25 characters long. So the remaining characters is padded with empty spaces, and since less than is used, so this signifies that this entire string will be left aligned, and colon is used to signify this alignment and padding. Likewise I can use right aligned and left padding. Now with right aligned and left padding, I'll simply reverse the greater than sign. Now here you can see, let's say, okay, let's check the string length. Here the string is of length 17. So as you can see, greater than 25, greater than here signifies that the string will be right aligned. So this string, as you can see, is right aligned, and the left part, the remaining as in 25 minus 17, which is 8, so 8 white spaces will be padded. Likewise we can do we also have central padding. Central padding is I hope you guys have guessed the symbol used. Okay, I'll change. Okay, let's talk about all the goats. So who else is goat? Goku, of course. Now this is central padding. As you can see, this is 4 in length, 4 in length, 4, 8, 9, 10, and then 11 and 12. So the string is of total length 12. Now I've used 25. So the total string length printed in the output will be of 25 characters. So let's see. Here we can see the space on the left and as well as the space on the right. So we have used central padding, and hence the output. It's not always necessary to use empty spaces as the padding. We can use some characters to replace white spacing. We can say something like this. We can use something like this. Now okay, this I figured out another goat. Now as you can see, here I've used star, so instead of white spacing it is using star as the padding. Now moving on, let's check out the last print formatting method, which is using using percentage or modulo symbol. Now if you guys are familiar with some other languages, you guys already know that %s denotes string, %f denotes float, and %d denotes integer. So let's say I have something %s, %s, and %d, and here I'll be using another percentage symbol, and I'd say now I have to separate these values. I love you and 3000. So as you can say, the %s is deployed in printing the value of I love you, and %d is deployed in printing the value of 3000. Likewise, we can say something like, we can do something like 0.2f, and again a %s. Now count on your belief, 99.999, and I would say times. So this will give me what I'm expecting. Glad to see that 99.9999 has been rounded off to the nearest 100, and as you can see here I've used 4 digits, and here 0.2 denotes that it will accept 2 values after the decimal. Okay, let's change this number to 90, and so it is rounding off to the next nearest 10, the nearest number, as in the following the simple rounding off principle. So had I even given say 7864, so this will give me 90.79, following the rounding off principle. So these are the 4 print formatting methods we have seen. I know this is a long video, so kindly be patient, and there's something more we need to cover in this video. So we have seen print, we have seen different print formatting methods, namely the F formatting, normal usage of print as in using the comma as a separator. Using format function, we have seen how to use indexes and format function, and we can even pass some arguments and name it, assign the name of the argument to the variables. Now we have seen the padding and alignment. So this is left alignment and right padding, right alignment and left padding, central padding, and using characters to replace the white spacing. We have also seen the usage of percentage. Now what we are left is usage of end and separator as the print arguments. Print arguments. Now print takes 2 arguments. The first one is end. So the arguments pass to the end method, pass to the end, are printed at end obviously, and likewise the arguments pass to the Sep and the arguments passed to the Sep are used, or I would rather say is used, to separate 2 variables. Okay, let's prettify this markdown. It will only take a moment. There's a spelling mistake as always. I'll correct this. Variables. Yeah. Now let's say I have 2a is welcome and b is Python. Okay, welcome to Python, the cliched statement we all have grown up learning. Now if I have to use a comma b, and if I've used to use an end argument, this will give me something like this. So here this comma is used to add a space between a variable a and variable b, as in the value stored between the variable a and the values between the variable b. Now here I've used the end argument, so the argument passed to the end is printed at the end, and this is what the definition mentioned as well. Now if I have to use the same with sep, instead of end I'll use the sep argument. Now separator is used to separate two, as in see the first argument, the first a, the value stored in a ended here. Now the value stored in b started from here and ended here. So the two variables are separated using double star, which is passed as an argument in sep. Now the thing to keep in mind is sep won't work with single variable. Won't work with single variable. Say I would, if I'm supposed to print like a sep, it's not mandatory to use star only, you can use anything, but if I use end, this will work because it end always prints at the end. Okay, I'll give a space just to show these arguments separately. Now if I have to use end and separately, end and separate both, I can say something like and in the end I can write okay, let's make a smiley face, and this covers the basic usage of print method in Python. So if I have to recap for you, so we have seen what exactly is print method and how to use the print method. Means as in we can use single quotes and double quotes and pass the sentence or the argument we want to print. We can also use variable name. Now we have seen the 4 different formatting method, namely F formatting, normal usage of print, and using format function. We have seen using indexes and format function. Next we have seen padding and alignment using format function. Then we have seen using the percentage or modulo operator. We can use percentage %s, percentage %t, and percentage %f. And following this we have seen the print arguments, namely end and sep. End prints the values at the end, and separate sep is used to means the arguments passed in to sep is used to separate two variables. Instead of white space, the arguments passed in sep will be used to separate these values stored in these variables. So in the next video I'll be coming up with input method and comments in Python, and the usage of input method and all those things. Next video will be coming soon. For some reason this video took some time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you'll find this Jupyter Notebook in my GitHub repo, the link to which will be mentioned in the description below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.